What are you doing?
The remote. Give it to me.
No, I need it for my work.
Now! Do not come back!
Why not?
The stage wants you dead.
What?
Can't you feel the floor is shaking? Do you know why that happens?
I assume it has something to do with the hydraulic lifts.
Not something, everything. The hydraulics are warming up for the show. The sets are not normally kept so far off the ground. They're not to be occupied unless they're locked into place on the stage.
But you're here.
I know what I'm doing, and you do not. Leave.
I need to figure out the password according to the notes. Did that. Did that. Still have to do that. Check. Can't check that off. Can't check that off yet. Did that. The notes on Gregor's tablet should help here. Check. That's done.
How was the flight?
Couldn't tell you. I slept right through.
Slept on a flight? What witchcraft is this? She's a witch! Burn her!
Hi, Joe.
I do not consort with witches. Our in-flight movie was about Salem, and apparently Joe took away the wrong lesson. How have I lived this long without knowing how fun reckless accusations are? Anyway, how's Greece?
Well, I'm having a bit of a problem.
Perhaps you should try stepping into water and letting me know if you float.
I'll add that to the list. Have you been able to look into the entire cast?
Yeah, you're dealing with something really serious here.
Tell me more.
That's the thing. We're not sure. First red flag is the staff.
As in, where is everyone?
We reached out to the network to see if we could track down any of the workers who left.
No one would talk?
No one could be found.
Oh.
Keep quiet on that until we figure out what's happening. We can fill you in on everyone at the museum, but these are dangerous people. You have to tread lightly. Tread lightly? She's so bad at that.
Thanks, Joe.
Sorry. Just be careful. Something big is happening.
What did you find out about Gregor?
Did you notice anything about his Greek accent?
What Greek accent?
Right? He's an American, and Gregor is not his name.
Really?
Really.
So, who is he?
He may be an actor, like he says. We can't figure out why he changed his name. But we did find out a bit about his past.
What's his story?
Pretty sad, actually. He's an only child. His parents died when he was really young. He grew up completely alone. In and out of foster care until he aged out of the system. May explain the assumed name.
Right. Maybe the name has some meaning.
Right. It could be a stage name. Like a nom de plume, but for actors. Or it could be something more serious. Like a nom de guerre. Unlikely. Either way, we'll look into it.
Did you find anything out about Xenia?
She seems to be more or less who she says she is. We know she's from New York. She grew up around a lot of artists and professors and the like. Looks like she was put in contact with the production's organizers and jumped at the chance to direct.
That seems reasonable.
It does, but we're going to keep looking. The dots connect, but who knows if we're seeing all the dots?
Oh, I know that feeling. What can you tell me about Niobe?
She is an amazing artist.
Yeah?
Well, she was. I saw a few of her pieces at the Met. Stunning. Her painting spoke to my soul.
I didn't know you were a fan of painting.
Nance, I'm more cultured than Greek yogurt. He's been saving that one. I have. I was toying with Euro puns for a while, but I couldn't figure out if it was Euro or Hero or Gyro. So I moved to tzatziki for a while, and that was a dead end. Now Saganaki... Reeled in, buddy. Right. Her work is abstract, but not.
How so?
The docent told me that under each abstract painting is a photorealistic painting.
Huh?
She paints over her work. She replaces the painting with the feeling of the painting. The amazing thing is that you can sense it. You know what's there.
Anything I should know about Thanos?
Be careful around Thanos.
Why? What's his story?
We're looking into it, but he was brought in for questioning about something recently.
Well, what for?
We're still looking into it. The whole thing is very strange.
Okay, explain.
All we know is that he is on the network's radar.
He is? Why?
He's killed people.
What?
Yes, it's serious. He worked in private security and he was directly involved in a fatal shooting. He's dangerous, but only when the situation calls for it.
And when does the situation call for it?
We don't know.
If Niobe's such a talented artist, why is she acting?
The part Joe left off is likely the reason. Her career is steeped in controversy.
In what way?
She was accused of art forgery, but it's not true. You don't want it to be true. Of course I don't. But the docent I met said what happened to her was a tragedy. I mean, he looked like he was going to cry just by thinking about it.
What happened?
He wouldn't say. All he said is her paintings will never bear her name. Apparently, everyone knows she's lost all credibility in the art world, but no one seems to know why.
I'll watch her from a distance for now. Do you think Melina could be involved with the missing artwork?
An inside job. Wouldn't be the first time. You should talk to her, see what she says.
That's always so hard to do, but comes with the territory, I guess.
It's all in the tone of voice.
Is that so?
Yeah, check this out. Are you the type of terrible person who steals?
And this works?
Not at all. Just be direct. And if she gets upset, just say...
Yes?
Take it away, Frank. That's what I say, at least.
Goodbye.
Later.
Is that a hidden passage? What's Niobe up to? The hidden door must be here. I need to make sure only the lightning bolts are showing. Did that. Still have to do that. I need to figure out the passcode before the alarm goes off. These rules seem very strict. What is Niobe up to? I should figure out what this means first. Still have to do that. Did that. I need to find the lift remote again. Maybe Thanos stashed it nearby. I need to get the connections hooked back up. Looks like the number indicates how many connections come from each point. Thanos can't stop me now. Still have to do that. That's done. Haven't done that. Can't check that off yet.
Hi.
Why did you choose Persephone's story?
I didn't click with it at first, but now when we rehearse, when I'm in the meadow, waiting for Hades, in my mind, I don't see the narcissus flowers I'm gathering. I see the moments of my life when everything turns sour. But I see myself, the Persephone version of myself, and I am her. I know that's weird. That means there's something real about it.
I think everyone's a little afraid of Thanos.
Don't worry about him. He's all bark, no bite.
I guess, but he seems very isolated from the rest of the cast.
Creative differences. Just part of the process.
Did you know about Niobe's career problems?
That she copied another artist's work?
Well, something like that.
Stop the questions there. I've never met anyone more regretful than Niobe.
Can I help with anything?
We're set. I can't keep distracting you from your job anyway.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This must be the red stitching Gregor mentioned on his tablet. Plutus? That's not a character in the Persephone story. Haven't done that.
Hello.
Is the museum's collection the real reason you're here?
What makes you ask that? I'm supposed to be trying new things in my life. That's what everyone says. Move on. Be new. Try new things. Don't dwell.
Sorry if I offended. It just seems like a pretty rare chance to study all of this great work.
Oh, guilty. I heard different words from what you meant. I can't even begin to tell you what it's like. When I was small and the other girls were crushing on the boys, I was falling in love with Phidias. No joke. A terminal art girl from the jump. Which reminds me, in case it's contagious, I've got books for you. Learn the language and art will speak to you. If I wasn't so terrified of that nightmarish amphitheater, I'd be skipping around the place.
Are you Niobe, the famous painter?
Was.
A friend of mine is obsessed with your work.
I don't want to hear about your friend or anyone else.
I'm sorry. Did I upset you?
You did. It's not your fault, but I had to snap at you.
Why?
No one cared about my art, but they loved to look at the smoking wreckage of my career. I don't talk about that.
Okay, I respect that.
I'm starting over. I'm here. This is what I've got now.
Do you have access to much of the museum's art?
I get to study what's out and already cataloged, but I can't get at the rest.
What's your art background?
I completed my first piece, Oatmeal on Vertical Plaster Wall, at 6 months. It was magnificent. From there, it was variations on a similar theme.
So you came to it naturally?
I came to loving it naturally. The rest was a struggle. But I always loved the study, especially the old Greek masters. Look around the museum. You're in the presence of greatness. Art is the physical manifestation of men and women reaching across thousands of years to share their secrets. And secrets never come easy. But they also never leave your heart. They're reaching out for you, Nancy. See them and reach back.
Could an artist create an exact copy of the art on display?
Who are you trying to fool?
An expert, I guess.
Which expert?
Any expert.
That's the trick. That's why most forgery doesn't work. Each expert speaks a different language. Some are chemists. Some focus on the process until they dream in brushstrokes, patina, and lacquers. It's easy to fool one expert. Impossible to fool every expert.
Could you?
I couldn't fool any expert, let alone every expert.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do you like what you found in my bag?
Sorry if that was intrusive, but I'm here to keep tabs on the museum.
Oh, then let me help you. The museum is on the exterior of the bag. The interior of the bag is not the museum. Museum? Not museum.
You've made your point.
See that I have.
If it's okay for me to say so, it seems like you had a bit of a rough time growing up.
We chose to put on a Greek tragedy. But when your parents die young, it's Dickens or nothing.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
The hard days are over. Growing up alone had its perks. It taught me how to study people. When you don't have much power, you have to know how to read people in your life.
So it was something of a survival strategy?
You could say that. Each time they put me in a new home, I'd do my research. I'd listen, watch people, feel them out. Every once in a while, I'd strike gold and find a diary.
Why?
If I liked the family, I'd do my best to be what they wanted.
You didn't want to be yourself?
I didn't think I'd be okay if I did. I figured, if you're taking in a kid, there must be something you want. I'd try to be whatever or whoever was missing from their home until they realized that never works. Not a great way to grow up, but an actor couldn't ask for finer training.
I think I just saw Niobe using a hidden door. That's your only reaction?
We're in a theater. Theaters are built for sneaking around in.
It wasn't in the theater. It was in the museum.
Oh, that's just to let the staff move without having to wade through the crowd. I know, it seems exciting, but hidden passages are only exciting the first time you see them. Then they're just poorly advertised doors.
I ran your background check.
Now, why would you go and do a thing like that? It's already been done.
My friends have access to some pretty powerful resources. I have some bad news to report.
Should I sit down?
Maybe. According to my sources, you're not who you say you are.
Oh. I should probably be wearing something else then.
I know your background. My question is, why did you use a false name?
Not false. I changed it legally. I slipped a little, not enough, money in the envelope to keep the record sealed.
How did you get into acting?
It's not a proud story.
Are you okay telling me?
For you, dear, I'd do anything. I was discovered in the costume department.
Nothing embarrassing about that.
Stealing a warm jacket.
Got it.
It was just my luck that the director of the theater needed some extras he couldn't afford. So for my first gig, I was paid in not going to juvenile lockup.
A few key words to leave off the resume. Do you know anything about the stolen art?
Too much.
Why's that?
When it went missing, the police had a long talk with all of us.
That's news to me.
We didn't want it to become a bigger deal than it needed to be. We all agreed to answer their questions. Melina turned over the tapes, and we turned over our keys and let them search our hotels and cars.
So if you're all here, it's safe to assume they didn't find anything.
I got the sense it was just a formality searching us.
Is there a significance to the name you're using?
There is. All the significance in the world. Gregor is the man who caught me stealing. He ran the theater.
Is he a hero of yours?
Mentor, I guess. He said I was a natural on the stage, but hopeless at life. My boy, you're the only student I've ever had to teach how to stop acting. With each show and rehearsal, he gave me a space to get to really be myself for the first time.
He sounds very special.
The truth might just be that he was an average man who found an unfortunate kid. To me, he was great.
Why were you casting the role of Plutus?
I knew I hadn't made my point.
I don't recall Plutus ever being in the Persephone myth.
Xenia had a sequence in mind where Demeter petitions all the gods. But it was too boring, too expensive, and did I mention too boring?
What are your plans after the show?
One day, I'd like to open up a theater of my own. Maybe give back the gifts I was given.
I think that's a nice idea.
And I'd put Gregor's name on the marquee. Like I said, I'm just borrowing the name. I've been keeping it safe until I can put it where it belongs.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.